Alright, welcome back everyone. Before we get into resuming the Ashen Deer run, I got a little carried away on Tuesday in theory crafting and actually, well, I guess this was supposed to be a scouting proof of concept, but I ended up managing to hit the right notes to get this to work, so I'm glad you're excited, Kat. So, I'm gonna be demoing this. I'm honestly not sure on its actual practicality and if anyone's running Maddening, but it's kind of a fun thing. So, go ahead and load. I think it's actually gonna load fast because the game actually has a cache, but we did some weird things. Because I don't think many people build Edelgard like I did. So, as a refresher, or for I guess those who might not be familiar, Maddening, Death Knight moves even before you attack him. And his stats are, I guess probably the best way to put it is obnoxious. Because 37 attack and 43 hit is pretty hard to tank. Generally speaking, most people who are just gonna facepalm do what to do. That's assuming you have a very prot stack to do to survive getting hit, but usually they don't have enough prot to survive the crit. I mean, 37 attack in Chapter 4 is pretty bonkers. Hey, Brad. Then of course there's the matter of actually beating him if you do pull him. I know I know people have talked about how sometimes the mages that show up as reinforcements accidentally alert him, but since I've never gotten anything concrete about that, I didn't think it was worth trying to recreate that. Although, if there was a way to actually consistently recreate that, that might be a way to pull him without going through all the effort that I had to do to make this possible.
And now!
Hey Ken, thanks for the resub. Captain Girilli. Green Geralt. I mean, it's a meme thing, right? I feel like Captain Girilli actually suits it, even if O'Reilly is a pretty old meme. Alright, so, the Edelgard. I rushed her to level 10, which, I might mention, actually, my original candidate through this was Ferdinand. So I thought we might have hit troubles, so I thought, okay, maybe because of his personal, he'd be a better choice, but Ferdinand's strength is actually kind of crap, so, since Edelgard was growing a lot faster, too, I decided to run with her, and she was kind of my backup anyway. Like, my intention was, I build Ferdinand, and if for some reason he's falling behind, I go Edelgard, but Edelgard just was off and running from the start, basically, so I decided to stick with her, which I guess from a lore meta perspective is both very appropriate and kind of sad for Ferdinand. So aside from that, the other thing I had to take pains for is I semi-late recruited Yuri, Chapter 3, so he'd have 12 strength. And then I had to build up his sword rank from there, which turned out to actually be easier than I thought it would. He does start as a Myrmidon, so that helps. Ferdinand can't even catch a break in situations like this. Yeah, sorry, Ferd. I tried. But, C+ swords because wind sweep. Like, it's about the only way to do significant damage safely. Without, say, killing the Death Knight, which is why Lysithea usually works so well. Or using battalions, and unfortunately because of that stupid commander skill, battalion damage is quartered, so... Wind Sweep ended up being more or less my best solution to that. And actually, despite Yuri generally having a reputation as noodle arms, his damage is actually pretty respectable. We'll see that going forward. And of course I loaded everyone else up on battalions and left them with their authority skill. And of course, Casper's also got his Born Fighter to provide for Edelgard, who is going to be the one doing the Night Dealering. It's kind of an unconventional Edelgard because I don't know how many people would actually build lances with her. Especially not far enough to get Night Kneeler. At least, or rather, I guess this early on, because I think most people build her in lances in order to get into Wyvern Ward, but, like, that's kind of halfway to 3/4 of the way through the game. It's a little bit farther than Chapter 4. Yeah, Yuri-based strength is 10, which is a little crazy. So even though he doesn't have the greatest growth, initially he actually does pretty okay for himself. But I guess as the game goes on, Yuri becomes increasingly more and more noodle-armed. Which is, I guess, a little bit strange to think about, but I guess it is what it is, right? And then, of course, everyone's favorite rallier, Annette. I put no effort into her other than asking her for mission assistance. Because really, the rally strength is all we need, so whatever. And Byleth is not really anything special. Trained in Myrmidon, still has her authority skill. Probably the most annoying part about this was actually training her to Myrmidon Mastery. It required a lot of sandbagging in a couple of auxiliary battles, which I was not a fan of, and is part of why I don't really consider this the most practical approach. Because in order to actually have the range we do need at least one movement skill. It can basically be anything, but Byleth was kind of the most convenient for it, just because Byleth tends to see the most combat, and is generally sturdy enough to jump into dumb auxiliary grinding battles. Hey Knight, what's going on is we're going to safely pull Death Knight. So I guess without further ado, we'll get started. We're only going to play the part of this chapter up until we kill Death Knight. There's no point in continuing this run after that.
We were right. Unwanted...
Okay, Edelgard, yeah.
Alright.
Alright, so... Let's see, we'll pull...
I am Ferdinand von Eyre.
We'll start Mage with Ferd. See, Ferd gets to actually help, kind of.
Battle.
Here goes.
Back to the fray.
That's my cue. Stay focused. I will prevail.
As you wish.
Oh no.
basically, before
Sure
we can
thing.
go after the Death Knight, we need to make sure we get rid of these guys, so... Pulling one with Ferd, one with Bernie.
Death Knight, prove yourself.
Luck is on my side.
I'd rather retreat.
There's Yuri getting magic instead of strength. Always reassuring, right? Wait, that might be overkill. Yeah. No need to go overkill and then take lower accuracy. That would be silly.
We must all do our part.
Actually, we want someone other than Edelgard to do it, because we need her to be in position. Look, Ferd's helping!
Put me in there.
Okay. I kind of want to keep everyone who's relatively squishy towards the center. Since it seems like Death Knight doesn't have his Byleth or Obsession just yet, which makes sense story-wise. So I think he goes for whoever is more wounded, so if I just keep people in the center, he'll come down instead of veering off to the left or right. Which is, when I was testing this, he did that the first time, which was kind of annoying. I'm gonna turn animations back on. I had it off to rush here, but I feel like if we're gonna do this to the Death Knight, we need to actually have animations on.
That really helped. Thank you.
There's no way around it. I accept your challenge.
This will be fun.
Very fun.
We won't hold back.
I told you that if you fled, I would not chase you. But it seems you wish to die.
No, you. Well, I guess Ferd does have Rally Dex too, so he can actually provide extra hit too to Edelgard. Alright. I think this should be relatively good position. We might need to use a second stride. Even if he comes straight down. But it's not like we need the stride for the rest of the map since we're not doing it. He must have wanted a piece of Dorothea or something. Alright, well we'll use this just because we want to get Caspar up there.
Thanks so much. Well done.
So, not actually attacking with Bernie, but she provides extra link, so that's what we're gonna do.
Like moths to a flame.
like fun
I
things.
can help too.
So do
This'll
I.
work?
That's fine. Like, we just need the born fighter. So doing that with Casper is for giggles, really. Alright, so Steel Plus, Wind Sweep. 12 damage. Because Honorable Fighter. It's actually pretty significant damage from Yuri here. And I guess he could crit, but like, we're not gonna bank on a 2% crit. And then basically, we need to do 1 damage, or needed to do 1 damage, beyond what Yuri and Edelgard were doing. So, like, this is the amount of backup that I've got, basically. Throwing around group flames and stuff.
Marvel at our strategy.
Because really, we just need 1 to hit, and a lot of these are pretty high hit rates because of DK YOLOing into our, right into our mob of units, so our link attacks actually push the hit rates up quite a bit.
We'll contribute.
Including
Now's
Bible
our
getting to
chance.
100 here. So, like, basically, everything is surefire except for the 1 damage, but there's so much backup that it shouldn't actually miss. Like, completely miss. Like, when you've got 80 and 90 and 95 and it's 2 RN, on top, I mean, Casper's also got his crap 40 chance as well.
I'll help out.
And then Yuri could have
Let's use our
crit,
heads.
I guess. Look, Fernand's
You'll be
over.
repaid.
And there you have it.
I didn't expect to encounter someone like you. How fortunate.
Yeah, right into our support polycule. So yeah, that's how that works. I've been trying to figure out something like this for a while because I've never really liked face pulling with Death Knight's crit rate. Like, even with someone who's, like, a Byleth who's really luckless is still usually facing, like, at least 15% crit. So, it's kind of gross. So, that's why I went after this. And actually, I have to give Platy some credit for bringing to my attention that the Empire gets Fusillade this early. Because it's a... I guess it doesn't... Or, yeah, there we go, it says... I guess it doesn't actually specify in the stats here, but it's a 2 to 3 range gambit. Which is huge when you're dealing with the Death Knight's range. Or theoretically, you can do this with the other houses too. But you'd have to pass off one of the magic gambits to whoever you make the Cavalier. And then you'd need 2 movement skills in order to get the Cavalier in, and I think one of them would have to be shoved. Actually, Actually, that's not entirely true. You could do it with reposition and then someone to get the repositioner out. So, it would have to be reposition and something that is not swap. Otherwise, you just need shove and any other repositional. And then, of course, you have to deal with the fact that you just put a magic battalion on your Cavalier, which will probably hinder your Cavalier's physical damage. And take it away from one of your magic users. So there's probably going to be some damage that you need to make up for if you do it with the other houses. Then again, I guess Dimitri is like the primo Cavalier choice on Lions, and he usually has bonkers strength, so maybe not. And then Deer have Lysithia, and I don't think we need to say much more about that. So yeah, I hope that was a fun diversion.